The cold press of steel against my temple froze me in place. "Get off our private road, or I'll make you regret it," hissed Clarissa Whitmore, president of the Willow Ridge HOA, her manicured finger tight on the trigger of a concealed Glock. It was supposed to be my land, my driveway, but she wanted it. And judging by the sunlight glinting off that barrel, she'd kill to get it. I never imagined that walking away from a tech career and buying a ranch would end with a Glock to my head, a donkey named Buck, and a pig pen full of chaos. My name's Nathan Blake. I spent 15 years in Silicon Valley, burned out from building apps for people who never looked up from their screens. At 40, I cashed out and bought 5 acres at the edge of Willow Ridge Estates in Texas, dreaming of quiet mornings and honest labor. The land was rough, the house needed work, but it was mine. I planted a garden, raised chickens and goats, and adopted Buck, the world's most stubborn donkey who somehow became the heart of my homestead. At first, the neighbors seemed friendly. The elderly couple down the road brought me peach jam. Some farmer named Joe lent me tools. Even Clarissa showed up one day, fake smile and a 50-page welcome packet. I didn't read it. That was my first mistake. 3 months later, I came home to find Clarissa, her lapdog secretary Denise, and a smug guy in a suit named Alan blocking my dirt road with ATVs. "You're in violation of HOA codes," Clarissa snapped, pointing toward my garden like it was toxic waste. "This access road is now restricted." I laughed and told her the road was on my deed. That's when she pulled the gun, said she had a concealed carry permit and that I was trespassing on HOA land. I backed off, but not because I was scared. I had a plan. That night, I slipped a GPS tracker onto her ATV and dug through every legal document I could find. Turns out, Clarissa was scheming with a development firm to build a luxury golf resort. My land, right in the middle of the proposed 9th hole. She'd been squeezing out every old-timer on the block, snatching land at below-market prices through harassment and shady violations. Emma, my wife, had just finished her job at a law firm in San Francisco and joined me on the ranch. When I told her what happened, she nearly choked on her coffee. "That's aggravated assault," she said. "We need to press charges." I told her we needed proof first. Emma's no stranger to legal warfare. She nodded, but warned, "Next time, I won't hesitate." Together, we started building a case. Sheriff Rayburn wasn't thrilled with Clarissa's antics, but without hard evidence, his hands were tied. Emily, a local reporter, had been sniffing around the HOA for months. She suspected dirty money was behind the resort plans and was eager to dig deeper once I shared what we'd found. Buck became my unexpected accomplice. He'd already once chewed the brake lines on a trespasser's ATV completely unprovoked. So I began training him, using audio cues and a custom harness system I engineered to drag objects. At the same time, we built a legal fortress, cameras hidden in trees, motion sensors, and carefully documented trespasses. Then came the showdown. I baited the trap, loaded my truck with camping gear, and made sure Clarissa's spies saw me leave. In reality, I hunkered down in a camouflaged blind, Buck at the ready near the pig pen. Emma stationed herself nearby with a direct line to the sheriff. Right on cue, Clarissa rolled in with Alan and some guy I didn't recognize, later identified as Tom Raines, a rep from the development firm. All 3 carried sidearms. As they inspected my property, Raines pointed at my garden and said, "This'll be the 9th hole." Clarissa smirked. Alan looked ready to vomit. They reached the muddy patch. I'd prepared mud mixed with clay and a special polymer that would trap any heavy vehicle without injury. The ATV sank. They got off to push. That's when I played the audio cue. Buck came out of the trees, dragging a camouflaged cable. I triggered the latch, and he hooked the ATV. Then, without hesitation, he dragged it straight into the pig pen. Clarissa screamed as the pigs surrounded the machine. She pulled her gun and fired a shot into the air, spooking the pigs and sending mud flying everywhere. That's when I stepped out, camera rolling. "Care to explain what you're doing on my property with firearms?" I asked calmly. Clarissa lost it, ranted about community standards, and called my ranch an eyesore. Raines tugged her arm. "We need to go. He's filming everything." But Clarissa couldn't stop. "You'll be gone in 2 months," she spat. "This place deserves better than some tech burnout and his barn animals." Boom. Got it all on tape. 3 days later, Clarissa called an emergency HOA meeting to spin the story, claimed I'd trained my animals to attack and damaged HOA property. But then Samantha, The HOA's biggest rule enforcer, stood up. "Were you armed during your inspection?" she asked. Clarissa fumbled. Samantha turned to the crowd. "That's not just an HOA violation. That's illegal." Then I played the footage. The crowd gasped. The room exploded. That's when Alan cracked. "They plan to buy up 15 more properties," he admitted. "Everyone on the edge of Willow Ridge is a target." Suddenly, it wasn't just my fight. The whole room turned against Clarissa. We thought we'd won. But she wasn't done. That night, Dave, one of my farmer neighbors, texted me in a panic. "Clarissa knows her husband betrayed her. She's coming to your place. Arm." I looked outside and saw the headlights. I triggered the floodlights and watched Clarissa, Alan, and Rains, all armed, approach with gas cans and tools. They didn't expect Buck. At the perfect moment, I activated the final trap, sprinklers filled with blue dye. Clarissa shrieked. Alan slipped in the mud. Loudspeakers blared opera at full volume. It was glorious. She fired another shot, just as the sheriff rolled up. "Drop your weapons," he yelled. Clarissa turned toward him, ranting about property rights. He tackled her. By dawn, the story was everywhere. Clarissa and her cronies faced charges. The mayor resigned. The HOA board was dismantled. Our mortgage? Restored. Buck, a local hero. Now, we've turned our ranch into a community learning center. The ATV sits in the garden, painted pink with a sign, "Gift from the HOA." And the dirt road? A new sign reads, "Buck's Way, used with donkey's permission." Sometimes, the best defense against corruption is one good donkey and a whole lot of mud.